Church family, I am so excited to bring this phenomenal woman who we have chosen as our Winners Circle recipient, Miss Amber. Listen, 2020 was all about Black women pushing forward in democracy, Black women in activism. And now we have a Black woman on the police force. Hello, Miss Amber. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
No, thank you all for having me. Hello, everybody.
All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do, your position for Louisville Metro Police Department, and why you chose to be a police officer.
Well, I'm Amber Ross, as you said. I am from Jeffersonville, Clarksville, Indiana. Been in Southern Indiana my whole life. I'm 34 years old, just turned 34 last Monday. I have two little boys. I have a very supporting family. Actually, policing was never a choice of mine. When I went to college, I went to Vincennes University first year, and I wanted to be a nurse at first. When I transferred to IUS, which is in New Albany, Indiana, I took a criminal justice course, and I had a professor who took me under her wing because she seen something in me. And she asked me if I had ever thought about policing, and I said, no, absolutely not. And she taught me a lot about policing, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, this is it. This is what I need to do. So I graduated college in May of 2012 with a Bachelor's of Criminology and Criminal Justice, and I started my process with Louisville Metro Police Department.
Wow. What did your family think about your decision? And then also, why did you choose to come across the bridge to Louisville instead of getting on the force in New Albany or Jeffersonville?
I think my family, one, was very proud. My family was always very proud of me. You know, I finished college and went after a career. But I also think they were scared, of course, for me. I'm still a female. I'm small. I'm 5'1". Policing is a very dangerous job. You know, it's just my grandmother, I think, was probably more scared than anybody. So I think a lot of fear is instilled in a lot of my family, but they're very proud too at the same time. I chose to go across the bridge because there's a lot more opportunities with bigger police departments.
If Amber's face looks very familiar, that is because she's been on billboards and TV commercials and on the radio and in the paper. And she's actually started her own organization for young girls. But Amber, all of that, what do you find the most rewarding about your work and what it is that you do?
Wow. The most rewarding thing about policing is helping people. I came into this job at 26 years old. And when I signed up for this job, I don't think you really truly know what you're getting into until you really walk in our shoes.
Yeah.
Because you are literally helping and guiding someone your mother's age, your grandmother's age, or your great aunt's age. People are depending on you. People rely on you. I've learned so much, even with my mentor program. This policing job has given me a platform to be a mentor to young girls, who gave me the platform to get into schools and mentor over 500 girls within Jefferson County. I never would have been able to do that without wearing this uniform. And I am so grateful and thankful for that. I have a different kind of voice just because I chose to do this and be this person.
Right. Right. Well, speaking of wearing that uniform, being a police officer was like a lot of other service jobs. It was one of pride and one that a lot of people have almost elevated to the level of like celebrities. But 2020 brought a shift in that perception. 2020 was a whirlwind in so many aspects. You know, the pandemic gripped our world, and then with the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, we found our nation in the throngs of a civil uprising. How did you navigate the waters of fury with so much opposition towards that uniform, and although you are a Black woman, still you are a police officer. How did you deal with 20 all that 2020 brought?
Hmm. You know, just listening to your question just brings chills through my body because 2020
Mm,
was, I never thought that I would have experienced what I experienced last year in my career.
yeah.
There was bottles of urine thrown at me. There was bottles of gas thrown at me. Um, I remember us on the line and we didn't have our gas mask and somebody was up from the roof and gas comes down on us and mask up because somebody just gassed us.
Jeez.
Um, we had objects thrown at us. We had officers shot, and the two officers that were shot, that could have been me. Sometimes I remember putting on this uniform and literally looking in the mirror as I was putting on my uniform, and I cried because I questioned myself. God, is
Mm,
this really where I need to be? Is this really for me? Because now I got my 13-year-old telling me, Mom, I think somebody's going to kill you because I see what's going on in the news right now. My 13-year-old son,
wow.
who my kids are my pride and joy. So I have to suit up and I still have to go out there because I still got two kids to provide for. But I'm still questioning myself. And it was just so heartbreaking seeing people yell in my face, cursing
Mm,
at me, telling me that I'm a traitor. I've turned my back on my people. I don't belong here anymore. And I'm telling people, like, I have Black kids just like you have Black kids. And then you have people who threaten your kids. Your kids don't matter. And it's just like, is this really for me? Is this really what you want to wake up and do for the next, 17 years until you can retire?
mm,
It it made you question a lot.
wow.
And I love what I do because I really truly love the community. I really truly love helping the youth. I really truly love walking to classrooms and helping kids and speaking life into them and letting them know that you don't have to be a product of your environment and that just because you come from a broken home doesn't mean that your life is over. But that time frame of those riots, I was ready to go.
How did you get through it, Amber?
Hey, my God,
Talk
I,
about that.
I had to pray before, during, after my shift, everything. And luckily, my B partner is a preacher. He,
Oh,
he was sent to me by God. He's literally a preacher. He has his own church. He gets off. He's still on night.
Pastor McFeeters.
McFeeters was my B partner. Yes.
Oh my gosh, and he's
Yes.
anointed. Yes.
He is everything. He was
Mm,
sent to me by God
yes.
because he got me through a lot.
Yeah.
And I had to just pray. He prayed over us. And I had to listen to his word, his guidance. And God got me through it. I just had to keep remembering my purpose of my why
Mm,
and how many people I have helped along the way
yeah.
during the years that I've been in this profession.
Wow.
That's how I got through it. But it was
Your
hard.
faith. Yeah. Your faith got you through it. And I'm sure it was the prayers of your family also. Big shout outs to your grandmother, who is so godly
It,
proud of you, your grandmother, Michelle. What do you want to say about your grandmother?
you say my family. My family is, oh my gosh, my big supporters. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, most definitely, because my kids, they help me with my kids. My granny and my mom made sure to check on me too.
Yeah.
They checked on me through these times, and if I didn't answer, my granny's going to keep calling. She will keep calling, and my mother too. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. You got this. You're strong. You do this. And my siblings. You know,
Yes.
I'm the oldest of four. So my
Wow.
family, I am so thankful. And it just wasn't my siblings and my granny and my mother, you know, being here in Indiana, small, I have a really close-knit family. You know, my family here in Indiana, and even those who have moved to different states, reached out and texted and called,
Just
and they
keep you.
pushed me through,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were there for me. And they sent prayers and words of encouragement and everything, and they let me know it's going to be okay. But yeah, my granny's always there. My mom's always there. So
That's
I am forever ever thankful for my mother and my granny, because I don't
strong
know,
women. Strong women
strong women,
whose
strong.
shoulders you stand on. Amber, let me ask you this question. So after landing your dream job of this police force, and then of course 2020 throwing you a curveball, which had you on second guessing your calling, what your purpose truly was. And now it seems as if you're back to a place of resolve as to where you know you are right where you are supposed to be. What misconceptions would you like to clear up about your career, what it is that you do, and what do you want people to know about police officers?
I think with the things that are taking place with policing, a lot of people think that we don't care,
Hmm.
which is not true. Um, we are people. When this uniform comes off, a lot of us are dealing with, we have, there are officers who have family members right now in the hospital who are dealing with cancer.
Hmm.
We have officers who are going through divorces. And, you know, their parents could just be sick, or their kids could be sick. Their kids could have a disability, single parents, so much. But I tell you one thing, the officers put that to the side and they go on their runs and they handle that, and they are there and they put this job first while they put everything that they got going on in the back burner. And I most definitely know that's true because I've been one to do it. You have to do that. You have no choice but to do it, especially when it comes to kids. I can't tell you one officer who doesn't have a soft heart for kids. Oh my goodness. When those runs coming out for them kids, oh, we are going code 3. Babies mean everything to us. So that's one thing I would have to say is the biggest thing, is that we don't care, because we do care. We are human. And then one thing with me is I would have to say, this badge does not make me.
Mm.
You know, I think a lot of people think, oh, that badge makes you. No, 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 no. This badge does not make me. You know, I have taken the things that my grandmother and my mother has instilled in me that I'll never forget. This badge can't make me. I make it.
Yeah.
So,
Amber, one of the things that really got my attention, I'm friends with your grandmother on Facebook, and she did a post for you on your birthday, and she said, this really stuck out to me. She said, besides my own mother, she is the best mother that I know. And it almost makes me emotional.
yeah.
You're a career woman, but the thing that makes you smile just like you did are your boys. Talk about your black boy joy.
Um,
And being a police officer, but being a mother of sons. Talk about that.
my boys are literally everything to me. I would walk away from my career at any given moment for my kids. And for one of them, I was going to also, and I'll get into that. Landon is my oldest. He'll be 14 in June. He was the only child for 11 and a half years. I am a true single parent to Landon, and I literally go above and beyond for that kid. I want him to know that no matter the obstacles thrown your way, it's possible and you can do it. We're all going to struggle in life, but
Yeah.
just because you're struggling in life doesn't mean you have to stop at that struggle and not can't move forward. You're going to move forward and you can, and I'm going to see that you move forward. I'm going to make sure that you have what you need in life growing up, not what you want, but what you need. He has taught me how to push myself because without him, I don't know if I would have finished college. Without him, I don't know if I would have went after my career. Without him, I don't know if I would be a homeowner because of him, I accomplished all of that. And he has been there with me through all of that because I want him to see that and I want him to know that that is possible. So without that little boy, I don't know. I just don't know what path I would have went down without Landon because he literally pushed me. I got pregnant at 19. I had him at 20 and I said, oh, you need a role model and I have to be your role model.
Mm.
And then Kyson is my youngest. And that little boy he is the sweetest little thing. And if you see him, you just want to eat his cheeks up.
I've seen the pictures. He's beautiful. Both of them are.
Yeah, and you talk about 2020. Well, you throw in doing riots and everything else and finding out your 2-year-old is autistic. So Kyson is full-blown autistic. And we're not talking about just a little bit. We're talking about moderate to severe. And when I say moderate to severe, like he is, sorry.
That's right.
He doesn't talk. He has a lot of the repetitive restrictive behavior. He stims, he sways. It's very obvious. And I took that on too, going through riots in 2020. But no matter what I had to endure through work, I made sure that he got on those waiting lists because of COVID.
Yeah.
He didn't lack anything either. Just because I was battling what I was going through with work, my kid was still going to come first because now he has this disability that needs to be attended to. And I'm his mother. I still had to make sure my kids was okay. Even though I had to suit up in this, I'm still their mother and I still had to be there. And God knew what he was doing when he sent me those 2 little boys. And I couldn't thank him even more.
Wow.
They are everything.
Amber, let me just tell you, if I've not grown even more to admire who you are, I know our viewers have. You are truly a shero, a superhero, someone that all of our little brown girls and boys can look up to. Anything to say to the members of St. Stephen Church before you go about being the recipient of the Winner's Circle?
Thank you. Thank you for thinking of me for this. Thank you for having me. Don't ever hesitate to reach out to me for any questions, any concerns, anytime you want me to speak out to the youth or speak to anyone in general. I'm just super grateful. I'm super thankful. Just thank you. I never do this job for anyone to acknowledge me. I really just put this uniform on every day to just help somebody every day. So I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you all. So thank you so, so much.